All right, guys, you're welcome back again. This is 2025, and it is the Views from the Stand. For those of you who don't know, on the Views from the Stand, we get an expert opinion from fans of different clubs across the globe. And today, I have three very solid men, one from Ghana, a barrister at law. They just voted in a new president in Ghana, and they are hoping that they will have more lights, but this time they will have lights to watch Ghana Black Stars playing football. They also hope that football will come alive again in Ghana because in the recent past, Ghana have been losing to cartoon characters like Madagascar, seafood like Comoros, Seychelles, and Cape Verde. We hope that Ghana will come back to the pride of place. But the last time Ghana have ever been any place that is resembling pride was 1982. Some people on this show were not born then yet. But then Barrister Marcus, so you call him Kobe Bafo, is on the show with us. And straight to England, a diehard Manchester United fan, one of the most honest Man United fan that I know. Yes, he's also with us. Bobby is with us all the way from England. And then we travel to the United States of America, where they are also having a new president in a couple of days, will be inauguration day, and we will know whether Greenland will go from being a Denmark annex or to become an American state. We will know if Canada will be annexed and become the 51st state of the United States of America. But all of that is politics. Let's talk about football. The one thing that unites everybody together. And I'm going to start with you, Kobe, Mr. Marcus. Before we went on the Christmas break, Chelsea were in a place where you were betting, you were willing to put your big tummy on the line, you were willing to put your neck on the line, that come the end of January, you would tell us if Chelsea are going to be title contenders. But 12-point loss and slippery slopes, terrible result. Nicholas Jackson gone back to the hiding place, giving Mikel Obi a reason to talk again. Do you still think that Chelsea are going to be title contender? Do we still hold on to that word where you say by the end of January you will tell us if Chelsea are title contenders?
First and foremost, I put a caveat that if we're able to continue that hot run, then I can guarantee that we are part of the title race. But unfortunately, we didn't. It's a reality check. For top four, I will still guarantee, but not for the title, please. It's far-fetched. I mean, like my coach said, we are not title contenders, and I think let me double down the title prediction. Top four, fair enough. Not for the title.
Do you really think that this Chelsea can make the top four? I mean, Newcastle is breathing in, and it seems like Aston Villa, what's it called? Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur might just reinvent themselves. And Man City are looking like they have banished the ghost of their failures and their defeats. You sure, man, we can put Chelsea in the top four race now?
I think we have enough, or we should, iron out a few things to be able to make the top four. I'm just praying that Reece James could, be available a bit. Lavia could be a bit available because, those two players were part of our core and while we were shining. But it seems we are back. And, Fofana is dead now. So I think we should have enough. We should have enough to be able to be the fourth because I'm betting Nottingham Forest would go down. That's not where they belong amongst others. Newcastle, fair enough, but the Isak train will run out of fuel very soon. So we should have enough.
Well, I don't think that Nuno Espirito Santo would lose steam. He's been saying that his team defend better than any other team, and he's got the right to say that because they've kept the most clean sheet in the league 9 this season. Having said that, though, let me jump to Bobby straight. Bobby told us that Manchester United, nobody should expect anything from them. Even though we thought that the problem was Erik ten Hag. Once he leaves, Manchester United are going to jump back into the title race. But then there was obviously something he knows and something he saw. And he told us nobody should expect anything. As a matter of fact, he will start judging Ruben Amorim from next season. And Bobby, what is that thing that you saw in your crystal ball that we all did not see before? Because Manchester United, nothing has changed. They're still in the bottom 10. Win one game today, play well against Manchester City, play well against Liverpool, but then lose 4-0 to Brighton and some other things. What's really going on with Manchester
United? Happy New Year, everyone. There's a popular saying, a leopard doesn't change his spots. So you don't expect a new manager to come in and these players to just turn out to be something they are not. You can't give what you don't have. So it is not possible for these players. So I saw it coming that these players will not, and it's not like maybe on you can say under Ten Hag, maybe they down tools or they were not giving enough. But the fact is that they aren't good enough. Amorim's system bases on hard work, intensity, pace, legs, a good football IQ. And these are things that these players lack. So I knew that this was going to happen. I expected this to happen. And it is good that it's happening this way so that he can see the issues, he can see the problems. Both Amorim, Ineos, spectators, fans, analysts can see it happening in front of our eyes and know that these things, certain changes have to be made. It stems from all the way from the dressing room, the mentality. Okay, for example, we drew with Liverpool. People were expecting Amorim to come out and say, "Whoa, wonderful game! Oh, I love my players." No, 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 no. He came out and said he's actually pissed because you ask yourself, where was such a performance against Bournemouth, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest? Where was this performance? The performance is not there. You hear the likes of Martinez, Bruno Fernandes saying it is the mentality change. They think that they are saying something good. They don't know that they are just saying rubbish. They are being stupid because so you change your mentality for Liverpool and you drop your mentality for Bournemouth. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It shows that you players, your mentality is flawed. You players, your confidence is flawed. You players do not have the right mindset to play for Man United, to play for a top club. In fact, you don't have the right mindset to be playing in the Premier League, to be making such statements. Their mentality is wrong, and you don't just change it overnight. So the whole club needs a complete reset for you to see changes, for you to see the kind of changes that are needed. You need a complete complete reset. So it wasn't surprising. It wasn't surprising.
Let me jump to Indiana in the US. Abib, the one player that they are hawking around right now is Marcus Rashford, from AC Milan to Lille to West Ham, Paris Saint-Germain. Some people even mention Man City, Liverpool, Bayern Munich, FC Barcelona. With the kind of salary that he earns, £350,000 a week, and the other bonuses, it just felt like Bobby just handed over water to Abib on my screen. But whatever, okay? Do you think that there is any club that would take him? And even if they take him, let's say the Manchester United will pay 70% of the salary. Is there any club where Marcus Rashford would fit in right now? Because I don't even think that he still has football in him. Is there any football left? Is there any more room in that James?
Oh, thank you, Edafi. Once again, happy New Year to you. It's always good to be back on the show.
Thank you.
As regarding your question, where does Marcus Rashford fit? I'm trying to think. I don't think he fits into any top 6 side in England. Let's even analyze it. Manchester City, okay, probably they have Jeremy Doku and they can play other guys on the wings like Foden. But the work ethics required for a winger in a Guardiola system is pressing, tracking back, and giving your all, which are qualities that Marcus Rashford lacks. Does it fit into a Liverpool side? No, they have better wingers that are more hardworking and are willing to work their socks off. Does it fit into a Chelsea side? They have too many wingers. There's Sancho already. They have, what's the name of this? Pedro Neto. So let's go again. Where does it fit in? Does it fit
we
into
have too many quality wingers, not just wingers. Please make that correction.
That's for you to decide. Yeah, I'm even giving you compliments. You're refusing to take it. Does it fit into an Arsenal side?
Nah.
Arsenal need like a left winger, but it's kind of like debatable.
We have Trossard. We have Trossard. He could go to Spurs. Yeah, he could go to Spurs.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a player with a shitty character right now, shitty mentality. Spurs is the second tag.
Spurs, it's debatable because Son plays from the left. And yeah, I don't.
No, he won't be a starter. He won't be a starter, but
he won't be a starter.
Yeah, he can play on the left. Yeah.
Outside, the mighty has fallen. Even PSG, I don't think he displays.
You just use the word mighty to describe Rashford. Did he ever get to the level of mighty?
He was never mighty.
I mean, let's be honest. We clobbered Carlos Tevez. We clobbered Wayne Rooney. We spoke of them that they didn't give enough. Rashford cannot lace any of their boots. It cannot. Rashford, Robin van Persie was a one-season wonder for Manchester United. In that one season, he did way more than Rashford has done all his career. Let's be very honest. So there's not mighty to him. And when we put people like Rashford in mighty conversation, we are also part of the problem. Rashford was just one lucky English boy who had some good moments of his football career. And then during COVID, did something good, something very humane. And we confused that, giving amala to people to eat, we confused it with playing football. He never really had that, like, when blow us out of the water season after season after season, and then you say, man, this guy is so good. When you talk negative about Pogba, you say, but this guy won the World Cup. But this guy did this, this guy did that. You can't say that of Rashford. So it's not really that mighty. He's a little boy who was given a good contract, and his football left him. Sorry, that's my thought.
But some would argue that, although I'm not trying to make excuses for Rashford, but some would argue that he's probably playing in the worst Manchester United side in 10 years. Imagine if
he wasn't
Rashford,
good even in the best Manchester United side. Let's call it spade.
What best Manchester United side?
Would he walk into any of the best Man United side? Let's go from 2008 to 2013.
This current Rashford, no, but he can be a squad player. But it's very, very difficult to tell how the development of a player would have panned out if he played under Ferguson. Imagine Rashford under Ferguson.
He can't play under Ferguson.
Baby played under Ferguson.
You can't imagine Rashford under Ferguson because Ferguson would have cut him longer.
Ferguson
attitude.
Ferguson would beat him. Ferguson would beat him. We'll stone him with the boot. Ferguson would bust his eye.
But when I mean playing under Ferguson, imagine Rashford coming out of the academy and being groomed by Ferguson.
We can't imagine it because it won't work. With this kind of talent, he doesn't make it out of the academy under Ferguson. Come on.
They've cut him out since. That's what I'm imagining. I'm trying to imagine, but they've cut him out. In my imagination, they cut him out since.
Wait, a 17-year-old who just
they would have cut him out at the age of 14. He will not make it to 17. He will never make it.
Ferguson can identify the flaws in his attitude very, very early. That was the reason why Fergie said that. That's why Fergie let Pogba go. People were wondering, why could you leave that young kid go? He knew about this long time ago, even before everybody knew. True. The same thing about someone like Rashford. He will know about Rashford way back. Rashford, with his attitude, cannot get into a Ferguson team. Not with this kind of attitude.
Bobby, let me put it to you. When Rashford started in his, when he made his debut, did you know he had that kind of attitude, or was that attitude as a result of failing institution of the club, rewarding back character?
Yes, I am not even meant to know because I'm a fan, I'm a spectator. But the coaches, the technical crew, they should know. That's their job.
Yeah, because they spend every day with the player.
Not me.
Know. That's their job.
That's what they should do.
When a player is making repeated mistakes with his attitude, clubbing late at night, going to clubs, not putting 100% effort in training, whose fault is it when they are allowed?
It's the player's fault. It's the player's fault. It's a professional job. The coach does not monitor you going to club. It's not the coach's job. You sign a professional contract. Let me give you a good example. When I sign up to be in the army, for instance, I know that I cannot keep dreadlock. Even though I like to keep dreadlock, but I signed a document to join the army. I can't keep dreadlock. I also know that I cannot keep jumping around, going to nightclub, carrying women about when I'm supposed to be under a regimented regime. So when you sign a professional contract, there is a lot that is expected. Why did Arsene Wenger cut loose the club all-time highest goal scorer? And right, he came to the team one day, and he was on a roller skater. And he skated past Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger know that this guy is an idiot. Because if you don't have sense at this age, I'm not going to bother myself trying to coach you to teach you sense. Common sense is what you bring to the party. My job is to teach you tactics and how to use your common sense and the talent that God has blessed you with to elevate yourself from here to there. So it's not my job to tell you, oh, young man, you don't have, your parents are not with you in Indiana. Do you go to nightclub the way you like? Are there no nightclub around you? So if you start going to nightclub, or probably you get trapped in LA and then this fire catch up with you, will go start blaming your parents. No, the truth of the matter is, Rashford, there's a part of the contract that is his responsibility. We all know that we're going to shoot this podcast by this time of the day. Everybody makes themselves available. If you decide to go and gallivant last night and then you get a hangover and you're not here, it's none of my business. That's not my failing. So going to club is his problem. If the coach did not give him the right training, then we can start blaming the coach. But you go to nightclub, you bring your hangover into the training ground, you bring your bad and disgusting attitude. Meanwhile, the club is paying you £350,000 a week, money that they didn't pay to David Beckham, Eric Cantona, Paul Scholes, people before you who made this institution, whether it's failing or not failing right now, who made this institution as great as it is. When we talk about Man United failing, let's even be honest. Is Man United so bad that Nottingham Forest is better than them as a structure, as an institution? The answer is no. The players currently today are just stupid, plain stupid, and somebody should call it what it is. And a player like Rashford should be a leader in the dressing room. Unfortunately, when your leader is a recalcitrant idiot, then the rest will follow. Okay? He's an English boy.
I think I'll put in an open question from you guys. I'll try to see how you guys. So we all agree it's Marcus Rashford's fault. He should have been better with his attitude, with his responsibility. But when a club now rewards your bad attitude with over 300k a week, so whose fault is it?
The club.
Oh yeah, he should have been better. He should have been better.
My response to that was that Rashford point everybody when that Euros incident happened and it was being blamed alongside Bukayo Saka and Jude Bellingham. The club saw what was happening with Bukayo Saka at Arsenal, and then Manchester United said, okay, let's not throw the baby with the bathwater this time. Let's give him enough motivation to come back. They gave him a good contract. They made him comfortable. I think that he's supposed to pay back that. They didn't reward bad attitude, but they encouraged him. Like, you know what? Maybe some things are not going right with you right now, but we're going to pay you well and make you forget about all that pain. But guess what? The idiot decided to be the idiot that he is. Money magnified the idiot.
Okay, I have another angle to answer that question. Yes, we say Rashford has his faults. Rashford has his faults. He has the responsibility. He should be accountable. But United also have their own faults. We've been talking about player power, where the club backs a player over a manager. They've been doing it for Rashford for a long time. Yeah. Andy Mitten, a popular English journalist who follows United, wrote a paper. He wrote an article. In that article, he said Rashford has been a problem for managers for long. We're not talking about Amorim, Ten Hag. I'm talking about for long. We're going back to Mourinho. He has been a problem with managers. He interviewed different Man United managers and they complained that Rashford has been giving them issues, but the club backed Rashford. We're talking about the new contracts. When Rashford was scoring those goals, there were some Man United fans who were saying, he looks good enough for the Ballon d'Or. He looks good. He's world class. I was saying, do not give this guy this contract. Do not give this guy this contract. This is one season. You don't bank this contract on one season. Give him time. He has not the sample size is very little. Do not give him this contract. They were saying, no, he deserves it. He deserves it. They gave him the contract. What are we seeing today? This was the same thing that happened with Bruno Fernandes, that they have given a £300,000 a week. Since they gave him that contract, he hasn't been good. We do not give stupid contracts with no meaning. We give very stupid contracts. You can't just give him that contract because of that performance. Yes, so the club has been backing. The club has issues. The club has their own faults in that direction, their own faults. Because even with all his misgivings, when he went to Belfast drinking, before a game, before the training, before a game, came back, got back into the team, the club has been backing him. So the club made him powerful. We're talking about player power. The club is the one that gives the players the power. So he has his fault, but the club too has his fault. And in the terms of that contract, you blame it on the club, of course.
All right.
If I could add my 2 cents on that, I think, let's be honest.
But you should have 2 cities, not 2 cents.
With Rashford's contract, very, very honest, did he even deserve that? It's only Manchester United who will give such a contract. They've been dishing out, freebies since. Gave Alex Sanchez a horrible contract, even Mason Mount. When Chelsea decided not to give him that contract, the United thought it fit to give him the number 7, and that's rubbish money. And look at it now. And did Marcus Rashford actually deserve it? I think we're just playing on the bandwagon, like Edafe said, what he was doing in public, sharing food, helping the poor and all that. Then he got an award, Marcus Rashford MBN. It's like, oh yes, this is the poster boy. Let's reward him by force. He's an English boy that is doing something. Let's try and promote him. But he does not deserve that control any other day. And sometimes the attitude matters. It's a problem with some footballers. They make money and boom. Marcus Rashford started with, farm boy baby face like Habib. All of a sudden, he has tattooed all over like he's a graffiti wall. And doing some hairstyles and things. And the football went off. Even the football was not that good enough to be warrant such show. But now it's off because he's making money. He can't show him nothing. Let me give you a perfect example. Hudson Odoi, teenage sensation. Why didn't Odoi make it at Chelsea? Teenage sensation. Bayern wanted to keep it, and we made a mistake and gave him £180,000. That's a lot of money for his age. That was the end. He actually had to sit down, did some introspection. He was going out on loan. Leverkusen, they didn't work, came back to Nottingham Forest, and he had to sit up that I'm still young, my football is on the line. And now he's enjoying life again. When those distractions, hairstyles, flashy lifestyles out.
But the mistake that Chelsea made was not the mistake that both Chelsea and Odoi made was not letting him go to Bayern, because Chelsea would have made more money and he would have had a better career.
Exactly. So they don't deserve this money. But to be honest, the only club in football would dish out outrageous things is always United. You bought a fit for 85 million, giving Marcus Rashford £50,000 a week is not surprising coming from United. But in terms of discipline, let's go back. Rashford was not going to make it out of the academy in any team, top team. Looking at the type of coaches that were there, Ferguson will not waste his time on this man. Moreno is not wasting his time on this man. Even the Roberto Mancini's and co. The heck, Carlos Tevez, who was a much more valuable player than Marcus Rashford would ever wish, was banned for how long? Because of attitude and discipline. So even the creme de la creme were being disciplined by the top coaches. No one is going to entertain Marcus Rashford. So that's my 2 CDs on this.
Okay, I'm going to come to Bobby on this one. I know you're not a city man, but you're a city boy. You are in the city. And I'm going to ask, is Pep Guardiola correcting his mistake? Okay, so they hurriedly let Julian Alvarez go. No backup or no competition. I don't like using the word backup. I hate it. No competition for Haaland. And all of a sudden, his form dropped. The entire team also dropped anyway. Now they are going for Omar Marmoush, who's been doing well in Germany in the Bundesliga. And somehow it seems like he's coming as a direct replacement finally for Mahrez, because, Jeremy Doku came in, was it Simon 2.0? Well, I've always said that Grealish is not a good player. He's just an average player. Another Marcus Rashford who likes to party. And then you have Savinho, who is currently doing well. The thing with Pep is that there is no player power at Man City. If you don't play well, you sit on the bench. Now they are going for Omar Marmoush. Would that take them from here to there, in your eyes, Bobby?
When you mean from here to there, do you mean this season or you mean going forward?
If they get in this January, would they automatically go from not making the top 4 to making the top 4 and even, throwing a whole Hail Mary for the title push?
I haven't ruled them out of the top 4. So even without Marmoush, I still kind of had a feeling that they will still get into the top 4. With Marmoush, yes, it gives them a better chance of making the top 4. Title, forget about it. But Marmoush is not enough, because the main problem of Man City is not the wing. The main problem of Man City, there's no balance in midfield. There's no defensive organization in defense. There are no leaders in the defense. Then when you talk about pressing, they do not press with intensity anymore. So it is more than Marmoush to correct the issue they have been having so far this season. Marmoush alone can't solve it, but Marmoush can add some goals and add some creativity and relieve Haaland of some of the burden. That's what he will do.
All right, let me come to you, Habib, as we're about to round up. Arsenal.
Can I throw this in there on the City?
Throw it in.
So, looking at City's woes right now, can we now agree, of the value of Rodri? Because he gets injured and everything comes tumbling down. I think, based on City, we could say he's deserving of the Ballon d'Or. I was a bit skeptical that he was
doing he's not deserving of the Ballon d'Or. No matter what you say, he's not deserving of the Ballon d'Or.
Are you sure? So Vinicius over Rodri still?
Vinicius is the rightful winner of that award. He just robbed him. The funny thing was that the excuse they started giving was even the reason why I think Rodri is the first human being in the history of the Ballon d'Or since 1963 that has to go to every TV station to justify that he won it. The fact you have to tell people why you won it is the reason why I don't even think you deserve it in the first place. I mean, come on.
The human beings like flashy stuff, but as a sports lover and as an expert, you can actually, look at it and assess it out of any flashiness and actually
would you ever have given a Ballon d'Or to Sergio Busquets?
Over Messi?
No, Sergio Busquets. Would you ever have given a Ballon d'Or to Sergio Busquets?
I'm looking at this era over Messi.
Over Messi, no. Would you have given it to Yaya Toure?
No, because of the time he was playing.
These guys are galaxies and planetary system above Rodri. No matter what Rodri plays, it's not in the Busquets level. It's not in the Rodri level. It's not even a Patrick Vieira or a Roy Keane. Nobody mentions these guys in the conversation of a Ballon d'Or, and you give it to Rodri. Come on, I'm not saying that Rodri is a bad player, but
his era is softer. Is it Rodri's fault that he's playing in this era?
His era is shitty, but even at that, Vinicius Junior deserved that. He scored a goal in the finals of the Champions League and won the Champions League.
He knocked City out. He knocked City out, and Rodri was there.
Vinicius knocked this Rodri out. He wasn't absent in that team. Now, having said that, I'm going to Arsenal. Arsenal, 2 seasons ago and last season, they said, okay, they are the real deal. They are chasing Man City. This season, Man City is not in the race, but all of a sudden, Arsenal have run out of steam. The rocket that is supposed to be going to the moon have not even left the orbit of the Earth, and it's just there. Was Arsenal Arteta and Arsenal, was that a flash in the pan? Because now Arteta is going to do a rebuild on top of a rebuild. What is your say? Everybody have 1 minute. Start with Abin.
Let me be fast with it. I don't know why you're inserting. I don't want to absorb Arteta from the game, but I still don't get why people keep inserting him as if it's the problem. It might be the problem. I'll give you an instance as to why I think it's not the problem. Everybody knows what this Arsenal team needs to challenge for the title. You need depth. You need players that can compete with Bukayo Saka or even rival his numbers. You need a player from the left. You need players in the middle of the park that, especially when you guys play 4-3-3, the hybrid 8 role from the left that can complement the left wingers. And to some degree, some would argue you need a striker. So whose fault is it that you guys got none of those players, or you guys did not upgrade on those players?
The coach demand for them because he bought defenders on top of defenders.
Even if he bought defenders, but
on top of defenders.
On top of defenders, but you also had to buy a midfielder, and you bought a defensive-minded midfielder.
Was it not the coach?
Yes. So wait, we were not in the boardroom when they were asking for player selections.
I agree.
What if Arteta was demanding for these players, and the board is like, "Oh, we are doing so great. Why do we need more players? Why do we need
because
more
they keep telling us that Arteta spoke to the person, and then the person agreed to company. You know, it was the PR. That was the message they were sending us. He spoke to Gabriel Jesus. He spoke to Calafiori. He spoke to Mikel Merino. Now the thing is going wrong. We don't want to agree that he spoke to them again. The Lord spoke to Moses through Bonnie Bush, and they spoke both together. So let's accept it that Arteta also spoke to these guys. And so come on, it's the same. Bobby, what's your take? Arsenal, flash in the pan, reviewed, one reviewed.
No, Arsenal have never a flash in the pan. We have to analyze from where Arteta took Arsenal from to where they are now. The leap is a very big leap. It's a very, very big. In fact, most Arsenal fans will not even believe that they will be in this position right now. So he's done well. Yes, of course, there's room for criticism. There's room for criticism. His tactics might not always be perfect. You might not always like his tactics. He knows how to get results. There might be places he's failing, but he has done very well. Yes, that team is not complete. Yes, that team needs a striker. I don't even understand why you don't have a striker. You still need cover for Saka. You still need cover on the left. You still need cover in the midfield. And I don't know what's going on in the board. So I don't know whether he's spoken with Edu before Edu left or the board and told them he needs this. He's not being given. But Arteta deserves time. As they say, trust the process. Trust the process.
We
people
go die
say
first. We were trusting the process from
he no go
Obasanjo.
die.
Then we
He no
trust
go
it to
die. I know.
Jonathan. Then we trust
I
it to
know.
Buhari. And then we did so we are balabluing.
I know he hasn't won. I know there's a possibility he might not win the title this season.
He's not gonna win anything.
But yeah, you still have to give him. You still have to give him till next season. I think next season will be a tipping point. Next season will be a very critical point, and he has to do. They have to do what is needed. The club as a whole needs to back him and get him that striker and that cover for him to go and get that title. Because if he does if he goes through his tenure without winning the EPL title, it might not be good, but he has played his part.
Let me flip this question before Kobe comes in and give it to Eda.
Nobody's coming in. What time is time itself? So just flip the question. Okay.
So let's say Arteta cannot do beyond this. You bring in a new manager. So do you expect the same manager to still use that same squad, compete for the league and win the league? Or you expect the same manager to come in and add a few other players to win the league?
The beauty of having a new manager is that no matter how broke the club is, they will sign at least between 3 to 5 players. And what Arsenal needs to go from here to winning the title right now is 3 to 5 players. Like Bobby said, a competition for Bukayo Saka, another competition for Martin Odegaard, a striker. That one is it's expedient. We need a striker. We get a striker. Some of these chances that we're wasting, that we're struggling with legs,